first tool, your first power tool, and I said get yourself a Combi Drill. If you didn't see that video, have a look, check it out. So we looked at the Combi Drill, and now we're going to look at using it, getting used to it. There are plenty of people that I have worked with over 10, 20 years that have been doing it for a long time and still don't know how to use a drill properly. A lot of people you will see will round the heads off of screws, and I want you to avoid that by practicing. The best thing to do is, when you've got your new purchase of your Combi Drill, buy yourself a box of screws, a bit of junk wood, have a go at putting them in and taking them out at different angles, and get yourself used to the power and the control of the drill. On a lot of drills, they have these triggers now that actually, the harder you pull them in, the faster they go, and they're not on or off, so you can really control these drills very easily. So once you've decided on what drill you're going to purchase, and you've gone ahead and you made that purchase, you've got it, you've unpacked it, one of the first things you need to do is put the sleeve and the screwdriver bit in the drill and get used to doing that. You need to buy a sleeve and a screwdriver bit. These are magnetic usually, and this is a PZ2 that slots into a standard Screwfix, I think, sleeve. They have a hexagon fit, so they're quick release, but also the hexagon on them makes it so that when you're doing a screw up tight, they don't slip in the chuck of the drill. Once you have your drill, grab it and work out which way you turn it in order to make this chuck, these 3 jaw pieces, get smaller, and which way you have to turn it to make the opening wider. Open it up, place your screwdriver piece in there, the sleeve, and then just wind it closed, and then do it up as tight as you can by hand. That's it, all in there, lovely. That's all you've got to do, and to undo it, do it the opposite way and take it out. Nice and easy. Once you've got used to doing it by hand, put it in and do it by trigger. You can use the trigger to do it by speed. So here we go, this is what I would normally do. Pick up my drill, make sure that the chuck is open wide by putting it in reverse gear and pulling the trigger back. Slide the piece in, hold on to the chuck, put it into forward motion and pull the trigger, and there you go. Nice and easy, it's tight. And then once you've got it tight by that, just give it a quick twist by hand, and there it is, tight. I recommend you get used to your drill and keep doing this a few times. Do it by hand, get used to your drill and how it works, and then get used to doing it with the trigger. Slide it back in, there you go, easy. I say easy, I've been doing it for years. It does take a little bit of getting used to, just keep having a go. Now, this screwdriver has torque settings on it for driving in screws, so I can demonstrate that. If I turn this down to 5 and I put this screw, this 45mm screw in this piece of wood, you'll see it only goes so far and then it starts clicking away. That's because the torque setting is quite low. If I turn that torque setting up to 15, it winds the head straight into the wood and it disappears. That is very handy on a drill. If you are using soft woods, you don't want the head to disappear into the wood. If you're using plastics and brittle things that you can set torque settings on. Even some instructions, believe it or not, for cabinets come with torque settings in the instructions. Now, the other setting on this is a drill setting, and this is my preferred setting even when I'm using it for screws. You also have speed control. You have speed control 1 and 2. 1 gives you slower and more torque, 2 will give you some speed. When you get used to using it on number 1 and slow, then turn out the speed and then you're going to get your job done quicker. But while you're practicing, just put it on speed number 1. So, what screwdriver bit do you get? Well, a lot of boxes of screws will tell you, and you can see on this box here of velocity screws, there is a picture of a screw head, which shows you that it's a posi drive screwdriver piece that you need. And it also says that it's a driver bit size number 2. These sizes go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but most common use is 2, and you often have a 1 as well, but you hardly ever go above a 3. What I want you to do is to learn how to place your screw on your screwdriver bit so that it is positively placed into the screw. Pinch with your thumb and index finger and pinch it on at the end of your screw head and pull it towards your drill. So that holds the screw in place. Now, don't be frightened of doing this. Hold it tight against your drill and then place it in the wood where you want it to go. Push down on your drill, making sure that the drill and the screw are in line and that tip is still positively placed inside the screw. And then slowly turn your screw into the wood. Take your hand away and wind it in. Now you'll know if you're not positively placed, and this is what I was saying about people I've worked with who destroy screws and their screwdriver bits because they don't pay attention to what they're doing. If it is not positively placed, if your drill is not in line with the screw, then you'll hear this. And what you're doing is you are wringing off the head of the screw. Stop what you're doing, place it in the screw positively again, hold it down onto the screw and unwind it or wind it back in. Keep it in line, positively placed with the screw. Have a go, practice. Screws get warm when you wind them in and out, so be careful not to burn yourself on the screws. Make sure you locate that screw onto the end of your screwdriver piece, place it on your timber and wind it in. You can let go once it's taken a bite and gone in and wind it all the way in and get used to stopping just at the surface of the piece of wood. Take the screwdriver out, put it back in, place it positively in line. You'll know if you're not in line because the tip of the screw will clunk. Place it in, give it a wiggle. If you're locked in, have a go. Take it out. Practice putting them in different angles and taking them out. And once you're confident at that, at taking them out, speed up your drill and wind them out. What you can also do is bury the head of the screw in your piece of wood, then place it in there and test yourself when you can't actually see the head of the screw. Make sure you can get it in, test it and wind it back out. Have a go, have some fun. But once you've mastered putting screws in and out of a piece of timber, it will help you later on when you want to use a drill bit and keeping it straight and drilling accurate holes.